The final boss is back.
Seth freaking Rollins, and this is Bretto Live on YouTube.
What is going on, guys? Bretto Live back with another video, and Bad Blood 2024 just came to a wrap. As you can see, I'm repping a final boss shirt, and there might be a reason for that. We're going to be running through the entire show in a WWE action figure setup style right now that I just set up. We're going to talk about the entire thing, my thoughts, my reactions, the winners, the losers, everything, all of the above we're going to talk about. Before we jump into the setup itself, I did do a prediction video earlier this week, and I talked about, okay, who's going to win. I did it with my dad and brother. I clean sweeped this entire PLE. I predicted every winner, every single winner. If you don't believe me, go back and watch the prediction video. It is linked in the description down below. But enough about that prediction video. Let's talk about the results to Bad Blood. Opening up the show with our hosts, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. They would party the entire night, but they opened up the show by introducing us to Bad Blood and our opening match, which would be the cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. But some pretty solid hosts here, and prior to this, before the show actually began, Samantha Irvin did do a really beautiful national anthem for the United States of America and Bad Blood. What a way to open up the show, absolutely tearing it up. Speaking of tearing it up, the cell match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre was absolutely insane. I freaking loved this match, dude. There was blood, hence the pay-per-view name Bad Blood. This would be the only match on the card that both men would bleed. I believe CM Punk's blood was stage blood, but Drew McIntyre's head was actually busted open. There was blood gushing from his hair. He was cut on the top of his head. This match was insane. CM Punk busted open Drew McIntyre by using a toolbox right to the freaking skull. This match was absolutely mind-blowing. I loved the callback at the end where Drew McIntyre would pour a bag of what I thought would be tacks, but it was a bag of friendship bracelet beads that he would pour on CM Punk right before he thought he was about to win the match, but he didn't. He would miss a Claymore. I literally thought Drew McIntyre broke his freaking back when he landed on the corner of these steel stairs going for that Claymore. I was like, Drew McIntyre's paralyzed. He's not going to be able to stand. Guaranteed. He gets up at the end of the match. I couldn't believe it. But before that, CM Punk would hit a GTS with a chain wrapped around his knee, winning the match, pinning Drew McIntyre, and being the ultimate victor of this long 9-month rivalry between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I absolutely love this Hell in a Cell match. It was so good, dude. Look at CM Punk. He's got a crimson mask. That's more like what Drew McIntyre looked like with all the red on his face. CM Punk's blood kind of dried up. But man, CM Punk could barely walk out of the arena. Drew McIntyre stood back up on his own 2 feet. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? How is that man back on his feet? I loved this match. Props to both men. They absolutely tore up this rivalry. Easily, probably my favorite rivalry of the year, if I'm being honest with you. This was so freaking good. I loved this cell match between these two. CM Punk takes the W. Triple H was really smart here in calming the crowd down. So we had Nia Jax versus Bayley for the Women's WWE Championship. This match was actually pretty good. It had some pretty good reversals, some pretty good moves. Referee Jessica Carr would finally get what she deserves. She got taken out by both Bayley and Nia Jax. First, Bayley incidentally landed on Jessica Carr, but then Nia Jax absolutely crushed Jessica Carr, the referee, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about. So she gets pancaked by Nia Jax. And then here comes Tiffany Stratton, who looks like she's possibly going to cash in. She's been teasing this for the past couple weeks on SmackDown. Like, oh, I'm going to cash in on Nia. I'm going to cash in on Nia. She doesn't end up cashing in on Nia. So Tiffany Stratton gets taken out by Bayley. And it looks like Bayley's going to close in on the victory. She actually had Nia Jax pinned if it wasn't for the referee being taken out. She had her pinned for like a 10 count. But it didn't matter. The referee was taken out. So Nia Jax picks up the victory by absolutely bonsai dropping, annihilating Bayley in the corner. Pins her 1, 2, 3 with her butt on her freaking abdomen. Oh god, it looked like it hurt. But this was a pretty solid match. Not my favorite match of the night, but Nia Jax retains. Damian Priest would go one-on-one with Finn Balor. And speaking of two guys that have bad blood for each other, these two, oh my god, dude. This is another great long storied rivalry here with a really good match, a really good culmination match here. You had Carlito and JD McDonough who thought they wanted to get involved, and they did. They jumped on both sides of the apron trying to distract Damian Priest. Even a steel chair got involved while the referee wasn't looking. Damian Priest was able to overcome the distractions from Carlito and JD. He was still able to hit the South of Heaven on Finn Balor, pin him 1, 2, 3. Even after Finn Balor delivered multiple coup de graces off the top rope to multiple different parts of Damian Priest's body while he was standing up, I was like, oh my god, or like partially standing up. It was insane. I really enjoyed this match, but Damian Priest coming out on top. Damian Priest beats Finn Balor. Triple H announced a brand new WWE Championship that will be contended for at the WWE Crown Jewel that I believe is going to be happening next month. So basically, the winner of this championship will be decided when the two top champions of both the women's division and the men's division go at it, and then the winner of both will become the Crown Jewel champion, which I find kind of goofy. It just sounds like Survivor Series matches, but for a title belt. It's kind of weird. I don't know. But the belt looks sick. It's absolutely massive, so I decided to use the Owen Hart Championship from AEW on there. Triple H would be interrupted by Gunther, the current World Heavyweight Championship, that most likely will be participating in one of those matches, because most likely he's going to beat Sami Zayn on Monday Night Raw. Let's just be honest here. So Gunther comes out and just starts kind of berating the crowd, doing his whole heel shtick, and then he starts insulting Bill Goldberg, who was on ringside with his son Gage and his wife, just watching the show, you know, just hanging out. So he starts insulting Bill Goldberg, because remember he mentioned him in that Bret Hart promo a little bit, so he starts insulting him. Goldberg jumps the barricade and then gets stopped by multiple officials. That allows for Sami Zayn to take out Gunther while he was a little bit distracted. So they brawl it out. Gunther gets a little cheap shot in, just building up towards their Raw match that's going to be happening this Monday. And then at the end of the segment, they play Goldberg's theme song. I'm like, bro, he's old. He's old news. Play Sammy's theme song. He's the one that fought Gunther. He's the one that stepped up to the plate. Goldberg, get behind the barricade. Go back to your seat, Goldberg. You guys remember how I mentioned Jade, Bianca, and Naomi were partying all night? They were hanging out in like a VIP lounge, and then they smelled something. Who was it? Chelsea Green, who I guess is still smelling up the backstage area after her dumpster match up against Michin Mia Yim. I was like, bro, because right when they started covering in their noses, I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to do the Chelsea thing again? She walks up and they're like, yeah, you got to leave, but Piper Niven can stay. I was like, bro, really? I thought Chelsea Green stay even if she smelled, bro. It was the Shark Cage match where Liv Morgan defended her World Women's Championship up against Rhea Ripley. I love how Dom and Liv, they were riding in the lowrider around Atlanta, Georgia. They pulled up in the arena. I love how they're featuring this lowrider on television. I don't know if they're actually going to destroy it, because this is the Wreckin' Slam mobile. It's a Wreckin' rig right here, so most likely it's going to eventually get destroyed, so enjoy it while it lasts on television. But anyways, Dominic Mysterio was suspended in a shark cage. The match itself between Rhea and Liv, I found kind of boring, and I hate to say that because I loved their SummerSlam match, but this was just kind of a boring match between the two. Dominic Mysterio fell out of the shark cage, and I guess his foot was like attached to some sort of cable, so he kind of hung there like a piñata, and then Rhea Ripley just started beating him with a kendo stick, which I found just really odd, to be honest. I mean, it was a funny scene, but it was just odd. And then who attacks Rhea from behind? Raquel Rodriguez. What? This caught me off guard. Raquel Rodriguez attacks Rhea Ripley from behind, in a way helping Dominic Mysterio. I can't believe I'm saying that. And then it ends in a disqualification because Raquel attacked Rhea, but Raquel still pulled Liv Morgan to the cover of Rhea, so it kind of felt botched, the ending of this, but it was still cool to see Raquel help a heel Liv Morgan, because if you remember right, Rhea Ripley was the one that injured Raquel and Liv, so Raquel's just getting revenge on Rhea Ripley here, and she very well did. Rhea Ripley fails to regain the World Women's Championship, and it's weird seeing Raquel, Liv, and Dom hanging out together on the same side. It was our main event where Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teamed up to go up against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu of the New Bloodline. I loved Roman Reigns' entrance. As far as Cody's entrance, I felt like it was a little botched. At first, I enjoyed the instruments, but then it started getting a little annoying, and then they played Wrestling Has More Than One Royal Family twice, and I was like, bro, why are they botching this entrance right now? This is the easiest thing of all time. Just play the music, bro. But anyways, Cody and Roman make their entrances. They look like absolute studs in this tag team match. Most of the match, I'll be honest with you, Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa dominated most of it. Everybody else loved the moment where Cody Rhodes jumped off the top rope while saluting Roman Reigns went right through Jacob Fatu, and that's what ultimately took out Jacob Fatu when Cody Rhodes did the dive through the announce desk. Absolutely awesome moment. And then after that, the Tongans would get involved. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa would jump on the apron, start getting involved in this match. But then we saw a masked man on ringside looking very similar to Jimmy Uso, and it was Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is back. He distracts Solo, takes out the Tongans, and allows for Roman Reigns to hit a spear on Solo Sikoa, the current tribal chief, and pick up the victory. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes win the match. But it's not over. First of all, the return from Jimmy is absolutely awesome. Cody Rhodes gets attacked by the Bloodline. Jimmy and Roman run back to the ring to help out Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns holds the undisputed title, picks it up off the ground, and puts it back over the shoulder of Cody Rhodes. And then here comes the final boss. What? The final boss, The Rock, makes his appearance with the Rock Championship, does nothing, and walks away. I was like, are you kidding me? So we saw the return of the Tribal Chief. We saw the return of Jimmy Uso. We saw the return of Raquel Rodriguez. What on earth is going on? Everybody's coming back, man. We're getting closer and closer to WrestleMania, and my goodness, this main event was just absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes win. They teamed up great with each other. Man, it was crazy. It's like they've never been enemies. What did you guys think of Bad Blood in a whole? I definitely feel like the show had its flaws, but in the end, I thought it was really freaking good. It had some amazing moments, some amazing returns, just some really good stuff here on the show. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what everybody else is thinking about this. I'm going to rank the show a solid 8 out of 10. My favorite match was the Hell in a Cell match, and my favorite moment was probably the return of Jimmy Uso over The Rock. I hate to say that. I enjoyed Jimmy's return more. This has been so well anticipated for me. I've been waiting for Jimmy Uso for the longest time, but The Rock was also pretty cool. But this PLE, Bad Blood, really freaking good stuff. Let me know your thoughts on this show down in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bretto Live is signing out.